Hardy's the starter tonight? I don't know if you can confirm, and if so, maybe take us through the decision-making there.
Yeah, they're just getting off the ice. I'll talk to Clark. He won final, but we haven't made it 100%, but it looks that way. But I've talked to Clarky one more time.
Lindy, in tonight?
Same thing. I'll talk to him after the skate, but we targeted. This was kind of the game or the next game, so I'll see how he feels, and then we'll go from there.
Rick, going up against a team now that's out of the playoffs this part of the season, how do you lock everybody in for this group? Is it a different thing from what you guys just had in the game against Vegas?
No, we got to be locked in. I mean, we had a meeting about it today. You got to be focused. There's no reason for us not to be focused tonight. It's a big game for us, and we have to have the same approach we did against Vegas, straightforward.
One thing Arizona does extremely well is their power play. They've been top 15, top half of the league all year long. How much emphasis do you put on the penalty kill tonight as something as kind of a challenge before the playoffs here?
Yeah, it's not even that. It's I think they've been one of the highest scoring teams. They've other than a blip there last night. What are they? 8-4 or something. They've had a great record the last 12 games. They're a sneaky team that scores a lot. Clayton Keller is dangerous. Schmaltz. Those guys can score. I had those guys. They're good, very good hockey players. So they're really good rush team. And when you play a team that's really good off the rush, if you're not focused, they can burn you. So that's kind of the emphasis. As much as their power play and our PK, it's the overall game for us.
When you played in the bubble in 2020, you talked about this the other day, the value of a third line and how it can make a major impact in the NHL in the playoffs, and it actually has for many years. What was your third line? Do you remember in the bubble in Edmonton? Especially when you played Colorado?
It might have been guard, might have been on it. I can't remember.
Okay.
We had a kind of a different team, but if you just go from experience, the Pittsburgh days, Kessel, Bonino, and Hagelin destroyed teams, and that's why the third line is, you can go in history of. Listen, your team, your first line's got to play great. Your goaltender to win a Stanley Cup, but I just always feel that third line is a huge key in any kind of playoff series. So. Or in any type of, that type of pressure type of games, those third lines, you get good matchups with them.
McKay talked of his experience with the Leafs and the fact that he thought it really suits his game, and he seems to be playing more on instinct. The speed is back, but he's playing more on instinct. What kind of an impact do you think Mick can make?
Yeah, I think his anticipation has been a lot better the last 3-4 games. He's anticipating, he's playing more predictable. When you have a fast guy playing predictable hockey, he looks fast. He's fast as it is, but he looks a lot faster. And I think when he waits too much, I think that's when he gets in trouble. So I just hope he gets on a roll, because I think his last 2-3 games, he's really noticeable. And I think he knows where the puck's going, and he's going. He doesn't have that delay in his game.
Do you need a real veteran element on your third line? Obviously, Lindholm going is your obvious center, but you have options on the right side. Pods could play the third, but do you like a veteran, been in the playoffs type of?
Yeah, I mean, you coach what you got, but I think it's important. Your third line has to have high hockey IQ, because sometimes they're against the best players, and sometimes it might be against the 5-6 defenseman on the other team. So there's some good matchups there you got. So yeah, hockey IQ is big on the third line, 100%.
Rick, you spent a few years with the Coyotes. I don't know how much you've seen, but there's been some relocation rumors. What do you remember about the hockey culture and the market down there when you were with the team?
Well, I played at 2000, so I saw, we had some good teams there, and the buzz. So, and then I think they went to the Western Finals with Dave Tippett. They had a really good team. It's there. It's too bad it's just been so unstable. I think people are tired of the instability. Because, what better place to sell hockey in there? The players love it. It's a great lifestyle. It's a healthy lifestyle, and they have great fans there if it's stable. I don't know what's going to happen. It would suck if they left, because it can be a really good hockey market.
Quinn Hughes, I know you gave him the maintenance day yesterday. Do we kind of sometimes take for granted, like the minutes he logs? It seemed in that game the other night when you guys were down 2, he was the guy that kind of willed the start of the comeback. healthy, productive? Like, do we often take that for granted just in terms of what this guy's able to do at this time of year?
Yeah, 100%. But if you look at his game, and we've played him a lot, logged a lot of minutes. I think he was around 22, last game 20 around that, which is, if we keep that number right now, that'd be really good. He's going to get higher minutes sometimes, it depends on the game. But he changed a bunch of his stuff in the summer, even his diet. I think the last month, it looks like he's got another year. Like, some guys get tired at the end of the year, that, you got to give him rest. But I honestly feel because of his diet, the way he's trained, he looks not even tired on the ice. He's been out there for 1:10, and he has enough juice to get back. So I attribute that to his training and his diet for him to be being able to play. It's sustainable. I really do.
Rick, circling back on Arizona, you talked about it's a potential market, a great market,
Yeah.
but they've only had like one or two really good teams that took deep runs in playoffs. How much do you think a lack of success has hurt that team in that market?
Yeah, I think that you can say that a lot of places, of course. I mean, you got to make fans believe, right? And I think they've only had a couple. You're right, a couple of successful seasons in a 25 years they've been there. So yeah, I mean that's a big part of it. I mean, but I will say the minor hockey there is big. Like Austin Matthews, I think him being born there and playing out of that has I have some buddies that coach there, and the Arizona minor league hockey program is really good. And they got a great facility at Ice Den. They just need more of those facilities to really make it grow. But I think the team's success obviously is going to make it different. Look at Vegas. I mean, their minors, the kids' program now is getting bigger and bigger. Pittsburgh, the same thing. I remember they were bankrupt. I played there. I mean, it's huge now, and I think because of the crest.
Well, you look at Nashville. I mean, they've started
Nashville,
a hockey
I think
high
it's the
school program.
crest, yeah.
The other thing too, when you look at that market, a lot of people like to pile on to Phoenix, but unless you go there and kind of experience it, you kind of get why the NHL is trying to make it work there, right?
Yeah, one of my worst pet peeves is like I coach there, the trainers, the team services guys, the people they're first class, they're unreal, and sometimes they go down with the ship, right? It's like, it sucks there, the organization sucks. I mean, they're quality people there in that organization. That's what I hate hearing, that how bad it's there. Well, the people that work there are unreal, and I think the team is. I think the coach has done a terrific job there. I really do, for the circumstance that he's handed. So if they can somehow figure that out, it could be a hell of a franchise.
Oh, I think you have space. All these.
Generational talent. Thanks for liking the video and subscribing.